Okay, first thing you want to do is go ahead and lower the spare tire because it's going to be in the way for when you're welding and cutting the old parts out. You're going to want to jack up the frame, just put some pressure on it. That way when you take the leaf spring bolts out, it doesn't all just fall. This is an old rusty plow truck, so I cut a hole above the leaf spring in the back, right by the tailgate, and I'll just weld the piece of floor back that I cut out. If you got a nice truck with a nice bed, I would say the best way would be to take the bed off. I think you could get to it underneath, but it would be a lot tougher. Okay, so the key here, you gotta take both of these bolts out. You need a deep well 15/16 and a 15/16 wrench. You have to take the lower bolt out and push it all the way through, get it completely out. Then let your jack down that you had on the frame so it pushes the top of the leaf spring up and the bolt will come out. If not, it's trapped in by the frame. Okay, both of the bolts are out. Now you'll be able to just pull this piece here that connects the leaf spring to the hanger that we're getting ready to replace. So now our leaf spring's up out of the way and we should be able to start cutting out the piece that we need to replace. Okay, once you get everything disassembled and get to where you need to get this old one off, I'm not sure if there's a great way to do it. I used a combo of tools. I started with my plasma cutter, got some of the big stuff out, used a sawzall to get some of it, angle grinder, cut off wheel. You just got to get in there and get it off the frame. It seemed like it's easier just to get the big portion of it off so you have a little bit more room. And you can just see where the old one was welded in. You got to grind those welds all the way off, get it all the way down to the frame. If you don't get it pretty clean, the old one where it's welded seems to be in the way of the new one. The new one sits pretty tight up against the frame, which is nice because it allows you to know that it's in there right when it's touching everywhere. This is probably the hardest part, but once you get it all clean, all ground down to metal, when you set that new one in there, you'll know when it's right. It'll just sit right up in there. It'll slide up into the channel under the bed, and it'll sit right around the frame just perfectly. So when you weld, there shouldn't be any gap around any part of it. This was the driver's side. See, it was still holding, but the whole bottom was completely gone. So it definitely needed to be replaced. This is what it should look like on the outside of the frame when you're lined up, and on the inside it sits in this channel. This is what it looks like when it's all finished and installed. This is the truck we were working on. This was a 2011 2500 HD. I forgot to record the assembly of the leaf spring, so it was pretty much just reverse of taking it apart. You just wanted to lower the floor jack that you had somewhere on the frame until the leaf spring is over the frame, which would allow you to put the bolt through the shackle and through the eyelet of the leaf spring. Once you have that through, you want to go ahead and start raising the truck. So pump the jack up a little at a time until the bottom of the shackle is lined up with the leaf spring hanger that was just welded in. Slide the bolt through, tighten both bolts, and that's pretty much it. You're finished. Tighten them up. pretty good. And put your bed back on, or weld the piece that was cut out above the leaf spring into the floor, and if you have a bed liner, get that put back in and should be good to go.
This is the part number for the driver's side, and this is for the passenger side.